Now, let's talk about, is this a good time to be investing? And if I was investing, if I was buying a rental property today, what would I do? Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. Today, and today only, I know I say that a lot, don't I? No, we're gonna talk interest rate increases. We talked about interest rate increases the other day. BMO came out after that and said we should expect 2 more rate increases by the end of the year. The Fed, they held rate this month. The majority of the Fed people who are making the decisions say we should expect another 2 or 3 interest rate increases in the States as well, which would make sense on all levels, but they're gonna happen more sporadically. They're not gonna be in line like we've seen. Obviously, they raised rates quicker because they were lower than us at the beginning, and they had their 3/4, they had their halves, now they're doing quarters, and they're going to intersprinkle those into different times. But what does that half a point mean in Canada? When do I think we can expect it? What should you do if you're like me and you're buying new investment properties right now? What am I doing that's different than I was doing before? My opinion on when they're going to happen. I think they're going to take the summer off now. I think we may see a 1/4 point in September. And this is all based on the data that comes out, right? So basically what they're looking at is inflation, wage growth. They're looking at unemployment. So whatever happens in the summertime will tell us when they're going to go ahead and do that. And we got the 1/4 point increase because the May or April inflation numbers came in higher than expected. Things are costing more. We all know that during April, housing prices went up. If you watch the channel religiously, you would know that because I did the video on that, right? So housing prices are going up, plus interest rates are going up on mortgages. It's more expensive to own a home, right? That was one of the biggest drivers of inflation over the last couple months. Now, it seems that housing prices are moderating again, yet interest rates are going up, so prices aren't falling enough to take off the slack from those interest rates. So it is kind of that self-perpetuating problem where they raise interest rates and it costs everyone more to own a home. So you bought the home, you have your interest costs. If you're on a variable, your cost goes up. What they're really hoping for and what they're driving for is that they're going to make it painful enough for you to be on that variable rate mortgage that you're going to stop spending in other areas. So they're going to use the throttle, the mechanism here, the lever. Okay, you're going to spend more here, and you're going to throttle down your expenses over here. Maybe you're not going to go out as much, travel as much, not buy that new vehicle, whatever that thing is, but you're going to throttle that back down because that lever has been put into high gear and you're spending more on your housing. So, and I was saying that obviously I expect maybe September will be the next rate increase, and then probably somewhere in October, November, or December, again, based on the data, that you might see another increase. Now, let's talk about, is this a good time to be investing? And if I was investing, if I was buying a rental property today, what would I do? If I was buying a rental property today, I would probably be taking out a 2-year mortgage or so, and I'd probably take it out at fixed rates because fixed rates are lower than variables right now. Usually 90% of the time you win with variable. Now is not one of those times. So we take out a 2-year fixed mortgage. I truly believe that interest rates will be lower in 2 years than they are today. And by the way, even if they aren't and you have the same interest rates, I firmly believe that rents will be increased in Ontario in the next 2 years. At some point, that equilibrium is going to work in your benefit. It's just a matter of sometimes just buying it and sitting on it and letting the economics of Ontario do the work for you. In Alberta, I'm doing the same thing. So I'm taking typically year 2 financing, and then I'm refinancing into MLI Select, which the rates right now aren't the best, 4.75. So I might look to, on some of our projects, just put that into conventional financing for a year or 2. Total bridge financing, but some financing that allows me to bridge that gap, but maybe just be with a conventional lender or conventional CMHC or something like that, where I can get okay rates, but I think we're going to do better into the future. Or I can just look for properties that have super low interest rates right now, and I can buy those. People have 10-year mortgages at, we have one at 1.4%. We have one at 1.27. A couple I saw just cross the block, and they were at 2.3%. So those interest rates are obviously super good right now, and they have those locked in for quite a while. So, you can look for stuff like that as well. So again, if you're an investor today, maybe let's not take a 5-year fixed. Maybe let's take a 1 year or 2 year fixed, and then circle around in 2 years after some of this stuff is blown through and blown out and the inflation rate has come down, because it's going to take a while to bring that inflation rate down. So 9-10%. Yeah, we knew that some of that was transitory. We're at that point right now where this is not transitory inflation. This is people didn't spend during the pandemic and now they're spending. It's going to be hard. Like, it's funny, a guy at the gym this morning, he's like, what's going on with interest rates? I'm paying a heck of a lot for my mortgage. I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, that's what happens when you take a variable rate mortgage, take that gamble. I go, well, have you stopped spending in other areas of your life? Or are you just not saving as much? He's like, oh, I'm just not saving as much. So I was pretty blunt. I'm like, basically what they're going to do is they're going to raise interest rates enough till you stop spending in other areas. So, I mean, that's what's happening. That's what's going on out there in the world. Comment down below. Are you on variable? Have you switched to fixed? What kind of financing would you get right now on a residential 2, 3, 4 unit property? What would you do on a multi-residential? Let me know. Maybe there's something I haven't thought of that I should be using, and I want you guys to provide me feedback here, because you know what? Obviously, I'm just a guy here on YouTube talking to you guys, yet I'm not the be-all and end-all of mortgages. So comment down below. What would you do? Thanks, everybody, for watching. We're going to resume our meetups back in September. We're going to take the summer off. We just know it's a busy time for people. Hit me up on Instagram. Send me your email address. We can put you on the list for the investor meetup and any off-market deals we have, and we'll go from there. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.